Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana.
This is Elsie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Ringside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl, Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dinker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Tasman inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known, Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther, the Bird, and now introducing from the top of Metal Mountain all the way down to all 50 states and the globe. Yes, Geek?
Go ahead.
It's the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going today?
I hit my microphone. I'm sorry. I looked at myself in the mirror and I decided not to go anywhere. I had a botch. I hit the mirror. I hit my microphone. I'm sorry, friend. I apologize for it. All right, Geekin. We're on the prefaces of the Royal Rumble. This is the day before the storm. Literally.
Well, the storm's tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, East Coast, we're getting a little bit of a storm, but Pennsylvania is my little Pike County.
You're gonna get buried down there.
No, I got spared.
Oh.
There, I got Jesus. She wasn't. Storm wasn't that mad at me last night. She actually she spared me a little bit.
I might get buried over here, but it's all right.
So, Geek, let's introduce the guest. You got it, Geeky? Today?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
Okay, let's give a war. Dudes at Ringside, welcome to PD Skills.
What's up, dude?
What's going on, gentlemen?
How's it going?
Welcome.
Thanks for having me on the show. Much appreciated.
Yep.
After seeing you on your Instagram live all the time, I'm like, let's bring this dude onto our level.
Yeah, I just chill out. That's usually me on my lunch breaks during the day, just seeing who's out there, checking in.
Yeah. So, if our fans aren't familiar with you, introduce yourself.
Well, PD Skills, obviously. I'm from Windsor, Ontario. Mostly you can catch me on the Ontario indie circuit. I do branch out from time to time, obviously. I am currently the No Ring North Hybrid Champion, and that's a No Ring death match company out of Ontario.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Cool. We do love our deathmatch wrestlers here on Dudes at Ringside. We love all kinds of wrestling.
Yeah, same, and I do all kinds of wrestling. Whether it be in a ring, not in a ring, catch cannabis. I don't give a fuck.
catch cannabis.
If you want to explain the non-ring, you could, for our fans that might not know.
Yeah, so there is a style out there, the no ring death match. In a whole no ring wrestling scene. It was, it's been popular outside of North America for years. And then a wrestler by the name of Casanova Valentine, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with, he popularized the style in the United States. He's come over, done a couple shows, couple death matches with us over in Canada. And then promoter by the name of Warhead, who was running Death Proof Fight Club in Ontario, decided to rebrand as a No Ring company and started the No Ring North project, which actually, because of the pandemic, kind of got put on hold for a bit and resulted in some like private tapings, even some outdoor shows that looked almost backyard-esque with great editing. But now, the wrestling's been back in front of live crowds. It's definitely a different experience. Even though I have done an arm drag in a no ring death match, it's not than normal, so it's a completely different atmosphere. If you haven't had the chance, make sure you check out, like, whether, no matter where you are, there's ones in England, Kumite Pro Wrestling, there's New Fear City in the United States, there's No Ring North in Canada, there's No Ring Wrestling popping up in a lot of places. Even some companies, when they've had venues cancel on them, have thrown up No Ring shows in the middle of nowhere, like on a pop-up.
Wow.
Is that the
So,
most
like-
sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Go.
I was just gonna ask if that was the most unique, like, match type you've been involved in, or if there's been others.
It's definitely a different style, and it's very environmental. Like, one show was a cage in a parking lot, and the next show was just wrestling throughout a bar, so it's very environmental. It's almost like a Def Jam Vendetta-esque, or like in the video games when you're like doing the backstage brawl. But you lose, you don't have your off the rope moves, and technical wrestling kind of doesn't necessarily look like it has its place outside from brutal submission moves and stuff like that. You just got to think completely different than you would in a regular wrestling match. It's not like you're not bumping. You're not fucking bumping. Like, I joke with people, I'm like, wear big knee pads, because you're selling to your knees.
Yeah, pretty much. You said Deathman the Vendetta. I can't even tell you how many times, if I wasn't in the mood to play SmackDown, me and Geek were playing Def Jam Vendetta, right, Geek?
Yeah, it's those solid games.
He'll be back. Yeah, Geek's computer probably died. So Def Jam Vendetta, like, that game was my shit. Like, if I did not want to play SmackDown, I'm playing Def Jam Vendetta. Like,
they were good. They were good games.
Oh,
like,
God.
I preferred them over some of the the main WWE releases and stuff like that. When there were years that I just couldn't dig the game, I'm like, well, I might as well play something different. That's fun, right?
Like, who was your favorite wrestler out of the whole Def Jam Vendetta series? Like, out of all those guys?
Ooh, that's a tough one. One, because I haven't played in years, and I didn't really have it was just. It's not like when I play a WWE wrestling game where I'd want to play as my favorites. When I'd play like a Vendetta game, I didn't already have like a predetermined favorite. So it was just like any other video game where I want to play all the characters.
Yeah.
Only regular wrestling games I find I zero in on a specific character. Yeah, with the exception of Mario Kart, because Yoshi for life. But
okay, I'm short and I have a mustache, so I always run to people always think, oh, he's gonna run to Mario. Of course, I have a Mario hat in my room, but I'm a John Leguizamo fan. You know where this is going. I'm a Luigi guy.
Luigi guy, there you go.
It's John Leguizamo. Luigi Mario. Come on. I met the guy twice. John Leguizamo is the coolest, most chillest dude you'll ever meet in your entire life.
Fuck.
He is funny as hell. Let me see.
I remember the day I found out that Mario was Captain Lou.
Yeah. Oh God, you've never seen that yet?
No, like I just like when I was younger and I found that out, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I didn't know it right away when I was young. When I used to watch it, it wasn't until I was like a teenager that I'd piece that together.
Oh, sorry, Geek will be back. He got kicked out for some reason. I don't know why he got kicked out, but he'll be back.
That's unfair. How do you get kicked out of your own show?
I don't know.
See, and I got, when we were doing the rundown before the show, I
Good
asked
thing,
what I could do and what I couldn't do. You said, don't get us kicked off Twitch. And then he just goes and gets himself kicked off Twitch.
Geek, why are you kicking yourself out of your show? See, we talk about other wrestlers and then he gets kicked out. You can't blame Joe. Joe didn't. He gets mad at me for talking having girls on the podcast, yet he gets himself kicked out for just, why? He was too quiet.
It happens.
Twitch didn't like it. They said he's out.
Yeah, you're out of here.
Yeah. So, what do you think about it? Like, have you seen any of the new stuff that they're doing for the new SmackDown game coming out? Have you seen any of the pictures?
Absolutely. I think I just today was able to mentally lock down my choice, and I think I'm just going to go with the deluxe edition.
What, like? I have my money all set for it on the side. I have my tally, my guap all hidden in the corner. I got the last deluxe. And did you see what the deluxe comes with? There's Geek.
Yeah.
There he is. Did you see what it comes with?
Yeah. And the only thing for me, like, I'm gonna get the digital, so because I don't play Supercard anymore. I did at one point, but I'm gonna get the digital. It sucks that I won't get the classic Mysterio and Starcade because I just have a PS4 and there's no way I'm buying it. Like I'm almost exclusively play like Call of Duty and wrestling games, so I can't buy a new system just for that right now.
Wait, you don't get the classic Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, you don't get the 96 the 96 Mysterio or the 96 Starcade with PS4 or Xbox One. It has to be the next gen only.
Oh, you mean
fucking horseshit.
Did you see the Undertaker, the mat with the gray mask?
Yeah, that you still get. That you'll still have. That's why I finally settled on the deluxe because honestly, I don't see myself playing as the NWO guys. I'm a current wrestler player more than anything. I don't know why.
You see yourself creating yourself in the game? Like I create myself every
I
day.
haven't in ages. Actually, to be totally honest with you, what's weird is there was a period of time where I took, like when I had a kid and everything, I took time off wrestling. That was probably the most recent time that I made myself in wrestling. After I started wrestling again myself, I was like, no, I'm just going to go out there and do it myself.
This year, I'm going to make Geek in the game because every year I would make my older friends I used to do stuff with, and I make this guy and that guy. And every year, Geek can tell you, me and him in college were like animals with the SmackDown game, right, Geek?
You beat the crap.
Oh, like me and my buddies, like we're all vicious with that, with the SmackDown games forever. We'd have WrestleMania tournaments every year. Like we got a trophy and everything.
Oh wow,
like,
we should have did that. Damn it! What the fuck were we thinking?
We go too far. Like we haven't played in 2 years because of COVID and all that, but it gets pretty bad. Like I still have the trophy I have for the last 2 times we played it, and like I'm not above calling somebody's wife in the morning and be like, hey, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go tell your husband that no matter how bad I beat his ass tonight, you're still gonna love him in the morning.
Joe,
tell me a story.
I was gonna say we should have just did the Dudes at Ringside Championship for the video game belt.
Oh my god, dude.
There's an idea
tell
right
the
there.
story about college, how me and you would play like all the time.
You tell the stories better though. I mean, like we beat the crap out of each other.
Play the game. We'd beat each other. We would be like a bloody mess. For that time for the SmackDown game was like PlayStation. Was it PlayStation 3?
I think it was PS2. I think it might be
PS2. When they started adding the blood, me and Geek were both covered in blood, bodies all red, sitting in the center of the ring.
Couldn't move.
We couldn't
move.
We would just punch each other and we'd go flow.
When you guys would play against each other, if it was more than a one-on-one, like a multi-man match, did you guys ever play like with the honor code where like final 2, like you don't try to pin each other unless it's the final 2?
Yes. We tried to do the kick out thing. We tried 1-2 kick out. We tried to do that.
We'd make the match longer, and the time limit on the clock on the corner would be like an hour and something.
That's like my most commonly broken truce. When it's like an elimination chamber, I'm like, I'll look at someone and I'll be like, final 2-pack, and they're like, yeah. And then it's down to like final 3, and I'm like, bam, hit that finish.
we would do, me and Geek would, I know my other friends that we used to play Smack before Geek got to college, like my other friend would cheat, and we would always start off with all the finishers.
Oh yeah, when they're not looking and you jam that button to stock your finishers up, that's such a dick move. I do it all the time, especially, or you just go one direction and get the infinite.
Yep. And then we would always start. My friend would always start the match off, and we would go. I'm like, I always want to do the grapple because my character is a grapple / luch, a grapple luch, as they call myself. I'm a grapple luch, and I go to grapple him, and he automatically gets the smackdown. I'm like, are you serious? And he hits me with like 3 F5s in a row. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, it's not a match.
If I'm gonna sneak finishers in like at the start of the match in those games, I'd always make sure it was a running finisher guy. So just on the open, you just come out strong, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I just can't wait to see the create a character mode, like how what they added to it and the faces and stuff like that. Because
it might be the year I break the streak and like make myself, because now that I've gotten back into graphics design and doing a lot of that kind of stuff, I'm like, I could probably make like, and I make a lot of other people's t-shirts. I'm like, I could probably just start making people in the game.
Well, if you said you have a PlayStation 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you think about making me, let me know. Make me and Geek.
Well, the thing is too is like, because with the face scans, like if you have the face scan and you have your own logos, it's pretty easy to make anybody, right? You just slap your face, you slap your logos on the right clothes, and you're good to go. It's the move sets that suck. I don't have the patience for move sets.
Mine's easy.
Man. Yeah, there used to be simple moves back in the day, and then now it's like 300 moves. I'm like, I have to go through every single one of these moves to put.
N64 was like 8 grapples, 4 off the top moves, and then your strikes and running strikes. Bing, bang, boom, done. Now it's like you're like 10 strikes for this button, 10 strikes for that button.
That's insane. It's like,
but who knows? This new engine might be friendly, right?
Yeah, it better be, because
did the AEW? I haven't played games in a while. Did the AEW game come out yet or not yet?
No,
not yet.
Probably waiting.
Not yet. I'm excited for both. I feel like they're gonna bring it.
I think they're waiting for I think AEW is waiting for the SmackDown game to drop to see how the air is going to be before they drop their game. Because what if the WWE game is totally like a success, and they bring out the AEW game, and the people are like, these graphics are not what these.
But I mean, also like it's been 2 years without a game because 2K21 got canceled, right? So like,
yeah,
I feel like there's a big advantage to being first out the gate because motherfuckers are thirsty for a new video game.
Because you're gonna laugh.
Also, the AEW also has the No Mercy engine too.
Yeah, so that's what they're going for, something close to, right?
Yeah. Like,
which is dope.
I told Geek, I was like, if you get your money right, Geek, buy a PS4, well, I'll somehow set up my thing and I'll get my headset on, you get your headset on, we could play online and play a game live on Twitch. And
both games.
You get the new SmackDown. Our guest right here will make a bet. If Geek gets a PlayStation 4, I'll tell you, hey, what's going on?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Yeah.
Hey.
Geek gets the game. I'll get the game. You get the game. We'll all set up a match and have a match for the dudes at Ringside Championship.
Oh, jeez, we're definitely gonna do that. We're definitely doing that. It's happening.
Having a nice hardcore match, a cool hardcore match.
Whenever what people, if people are asking, when you guys are gonna have a match? When you get, it's like you guys don't want me and Joe to have a match.
It will never end. We'll be up till like 5 o'clock in the morning playing on Twitch.
You guys don't want me and Joe to have a match. It's like you guys hear all these stories about this match, and I'm like, you guys don't want us to have a match.
No, you do want to see us fight because we have so many great matches we've done nobody has seen them. Nobody has seen these matches. We went.
You got to make it happen.
Yeah, we went from like morning as I'm drinking my coffee in the morning to lunchtime. That was a long ass match.
And our buddy Mima Mania used to join us too. So
he's like, my friend, our buddy that's not in the chat today was like this, guys, I want to eat lunch. And we're like, 5 more minutes. You said that like 5 minutes ago, dude. And I'm like, okay, fine. And we would just pause the game and run to eat, grab the food, run back to the room. And my buddy's like, I wanted to eat in the cafeteria, not here. Yeah.
So what kind of hardcore matches have you done?
Oh God, I've done barbed wire web matches. I mean, obviously played with barbed wire millions of times. Done thumbtacks. Doors with multitudes of
doors is a new thing.
Doors are a lot cheaper than tables. That's why.
Because I've seen it and a lot of wrestling,
especially if motherfuckers are Kijiji in it and like keeping their eyes peeled. Like that's where it's at.
That's the reason, because it's just cheaper. Because
yeah,
I've seen them like they're actually using a door for this match, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's why in like deathmatch and like a lot of the hardcore promotions, it's replaced it. They're exponentially cheaper.
It's like I would have put a doorbell on the side of the door, so when I was about to powerbomb the wrestler to the door, be like, "All right,
hear the doorbell go off."
Yeah, like we did like a death's door match during the pandemic at like some like farm, and somebody actually donated doors that were like they actually like airbrushed like really sweet, right, to fancy it up.
Yeah,
and then just stapled a bunch of barbed wire to them.
Oh geez.
Oh geez.
Yeah, and then I've also done actually what I call a failed Taipei death match. So I was wrestling Joe Itel out in New York. He came over here, and we were supposed to have a fans bring the weapons Taipei death match. Promoter wanted us to put the glass on our hands in the ring, so it's not like we could bring a hot glue gun out there. So wanted to try it with super glue. So we got the super glue on our hands. We're putting our hands in this bucket of glass, and it's not sticking. And like the guy is pushing my hands in hard enough that I'm almost starting to cut my hands trying to get the glass on it. So I look at Joe and I go, you know what? Basically, like, trust me, and he gives me the okay. I grab the bucket of glass and I just dump it. It's all broken glass, dump it out all over the ring. And I'm like, this is how we start the match. We couldn't give them Taipei because the glass wouldn't stick to our fists. So fuck it. Let's just dump the glass all over this ring and fuck some shit up. And he bled for hours.
Yeah.
I got lucky. I stopped bleeding relatively early, but he bled for hours.
Oh, jeez.
Have you been barbed wire match yet or not yet?
What's that? Exploding, you said?
Exploding barbed wire match. Have you ever been to
no. I've been at a show where like the main, like I've wrestled the last No Ring North or 2 No Ring North shows ago. The main was Warhead versus Rene Dupree.
Ooh.
Wow.
So Rene Dupree did a no ring death match. And the finish was Rene Dupree hitting Warhead with an exploding barbed wire baseball bat.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
So if you get a chance to check that out from No Ring North, there's something you never expected to see. Rene Dupree doing a no ring death match.
Like Rene Dupree,
and using an
like
exploding
WWE?
barbed wire baseball bat.
That Rene Dupree? Like the WWE?
Yeah, Rene Dupree.
Yeah, like
in Kent. Yeah.
That's what I was both thinking. Rene Dupree.
He has his own podcast too.
Yeah, Cafe de Rene.
Oh, jeez. Well, if you talk to him, tell him we say hi. We're doing a podcast month in April.
He wants to do another No Ring North show. That's the only promotion I've crossed paths with him. So if I'm going to cross paths with him, that's the promotion it'd be for.
Yeah.
Well, tell him we are doing podcast month in April. We're always looking for podcasts that we're not familiar with.
He's probably super busy though, right?
He's traveling.
And yeah, that the
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
He wants the green too, right?
Not a ton. It just, it is what it is.
Yeah, it happens.
I understand. He hasn't been on my podcast either.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly, a rich, no indie wrestler at my wrestler level really is right now.
I was actually listening to him on Chris Van Vliet. He told some good stories on Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah, he does have some good stories.
Yeah. So, is there any place else in the country or the world that you want to do your wrestling?
Honestly, I'd love to get as many places as I can. At this point, I've only wrestled in a couple of the states and over here in Ontario. I've got shows in New Brunswick coming up. Hopefully they get rescheduled for June at the earliest. I'm hoping. It's not announced or anything yet, but I think that's what they're hoping. It was supposed to be April. That was a Caddy Pro in New Brunswick. So once that gets rescheduled, that'll be nice. So a different province. I'd like to get out to Mexico. I want to go out to New York, get a couple more states in, and there's a place I'm eyeballing in England. I don't want to advertise that I'm eyeballing it because there's really no talks at this point. But it's a mental goal, so I'd like to get over to England by the end of the year too.
Do you have a favorite opponent you worked with, or
favorite opponent that I've ever worked with? I'd honestly, it's a hidden gem from early 2000s, but I'd probably say a guy by the name of Jesse Jones, and pretty much followed closely by Eddie Osborne. He was fun to work with. Those guys from early in my career. Now it's, there's guys that are fun to work with, but those were my favorites. Like, they just stand out because, some of the first people that you had good memories with are the ones that stand out to you forever. I mean, I could list the guys that I enjoy working with for fucking hours, but those ones always stand out to me because it was early and it was like the first matches I was happy with.
Yeah. Is there any like wrestlers that you've been going on YouTube that do the same hardcore wrestling that you watch on YouTube and you go, I want to wrestle that person?
Oh, fuck. I mean, any of the 44 guys, obviously anybody who does deathmatch wrestling would love to tie it up with Gage before he hangs it up. A lot of the IWA Mid-South guys, like their deathmatch stuff, it's infinite, right?
There's a wrestler we keep in contact with. His name is Chad Epic. He's like the king of deathmatch wrestling over in the States.
Yeah, in the Boston area.
In the Boston area.
Okay, I was gonna say, whoa, that's a bold claim.
Yeah, you should definitely check him out. He's called the greatest heel manager.
Okay.
Yes, Chad.
That's great. That's great heel manager.
Yeah.
He's awesome. An awesome person.
Super cool guy. He can cook too. Apparently, he's a mean barbecuer.
Yeah.
A mean barbecuer?
Yeah. He has, what is it, hot sauce or he
makes his own hot sauce, and he has a ring in his backyard, and his basement has all kinds of hardcore weapons in it.
Well, shit.
Yes.
And apparently, like he knows a lot of people in like the deathmatch community.
Like they all know him. Like, you're like, oh, Chad. Oh yeah, I know Chad.
Yeah, we know him.
What's funny is when I started wrestling, I did a lot more hardcore stuff, and then a lot of people didn't want me killing myself out there, so I'd shifted gears to more of a traditional style. I did heel for a lot of years. That way I could avoid, still get to do it a little bit with the heel tactics. But then all of a sudden, I just feel like I lucked out because when I came back to wrestling, deathmatch wrestling and hardcore wrestling in general started to surge and thrive again. So I was like, well, shit, if the shit that was most fun to me is more acceptable now, like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's like so many like matches that you could do in the deathmatch like thing. You could have, like you said, with the doors. You could have like exploding barbed wire matches.
There's
like,
exploding baseball bats now.
I've never seen that. That sounds insane.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. That's what Renee used.
Yeah.
Like it has barbed wire on it. That's what Moxley did to Kenny Omega during that match.
Yeah.
The exploding barbed wire.
The one that we ask a lot for our guests that do the hardcore matches, what do you prefer, tacks or Legos?
Probably tacks.
Okay.
I'd say, honestly, at the end of the day, when your adrenaline's up, there's not much of a pain difference between the two. And I just love good old traditional tacks because they stick in you. That you just get better bang for your buck for visual effects and everything, right?
Yeah. I just think it's insane that like we're just fans. But you guys do it. You guys do something that is for our entertainment, and your body. You're putting your bodies like on the line for like our. Wow, this is so much fun. We're going to watch this guy just go through a table, and like could pop up and maybe not. You know what I mean? Like
with Lego, I'm always worried there's going to be like a 4 long the wrong way.
Oh, jeez.
Just perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Lego guy.
Have you ever stepped on a dog bone before, like a wishbone or something? Because that's kind of like that's another Lego right there.
Ooh, yeah, that I'd imagine.
Like
I've only
you
once
have a
stepped
pet?
on one of the like toothbrush dog bone things, the green ones with the things on it.
Oh yeah, the greenie. Oh
yeah,
God.
they suck.
That's another weapon you could use in one of your matches right there.
Is that an actual weapon that anybody's ever brought to a hardcore show? One of those dog bones? Has anybody ever brought
You
that?
suplex somebody on there or something like that.
Yeah. Because they are a pain in the ass.
They are, so there you go. There's another weapon you could use right there. It's like shit.
I've seen so many people that we've had on the podcast who've asked that question about the Legos. I'm like, oh my God. They're like, oh my God, Legos instantly, no tax. And I said this to it was a female wrestler. I said that about the tax. And I said, Legos all day, even though, because I have like the little Lego thing here too, building Legos. And I was like, because you never know how long those tacks have been in the desk drawer that they're bringing. That could have been their uncle's tax when he was like,
that BYOT. If you know you're doing tax, bring your own fucking tax. Make sure they're new. Make sure they're fucking clean. Don't be a dirtbag.
Yeah.
If some promoter tries to give me a dirty bag of tax, like I'll bitch slap them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like keep it clean. Like always keep that's like the number one priority for me when it comes to deathmatch wrestling and hardcore wrestling is keep it fucking clean.
Yeah, like because I joked with my mom because me and Geek went to our first show together. Was it like 13 years, Geek?
I forgot what it was.
Yeah, and I joked to my mom. I said, "Oh, it's this promotion called VPW. I'm just gonna bring my Legos with me. I don't know what kind of show it. I think it's hardcore." My mom was like, "Why would you bring Legos with you?" And I said, "Oh, normally some promotions allow you to bring things." She's like, "What kind of wrestling are you watching?"
Fans bring the weapons matches.
She's like, is that real? Did they really do that? I'm like, "Yeah, Mom." She's like, "What's wrestling these days?"
I've had some interesting things like in fans bring the weapons matches. Like I've had like a Nintendo Classic, Barbie wrapped in barbed wire. Like,
oh jeez,
people get creative.
Candy.
What's
have
that?
Have you ever seen Candy? Someone brought candy and just like suplex.
That'd be great.
But
no one's ever gave us candy.
Jolly Ranchers. Oh my God. Just one of those big Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Jolly Ranchers.
Something hard, something like a hard candy, not like
you slam them on it, and then like as they're on there, once they work their way up to their knees and they're like this, you just jam a handful in their mouth. Boom, super kick, candy everywhere.
Yes.
So the last no ring show that I did, the one of the guys that was booked locally, it was his birthday, and that's what he decided to do because like his thing is he doesn't exactly grasp hardcore wrestling, so he'll do things like they're hardcore and they're really not. So it was his birthday, and like he took a handful, like he took not a handful, but the bottle of sprinkles, and like fills this guy's mouth with sprinkles and fucking super kicks him. And I'm like tucked in the corner in the crowd. Sure as shit, do I not get a sprinkle in my mouth? I'm like, jeez.
Oh God. Oh my God, that's insane.
So I haven't seen it with candy, but I've seen people use sprinkles in a match as a hardcore weapon.
If I was a hardcore wrestler, I would totally have like a big bag of Jolly Ranchers in my car.
Lollipops, another one.
Jolly Ranchers hurt. You know what would hurt even more than Jolly Ranchers? Crushed up Jolly Ranchers.
Oh, jeez.
It's like glass. Crush them up, like smash them with a sledgehammer.
Yeah. See that? You get ideas. You come on dudes at ringside, you get ideas for your next.
Not so Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah,
not so Jolly Ranchers.
You stick them in like a pillowcase. You stick them on a table, open them up, smash them all with a hammer, and then take a scraper, stick it in the back of the pillowcase. So when the crowd thinks, "Oh, he has Jolly Ranchers," and then like they do for the tax, you just drop the Jolly Rancher, drop the the thing out.
Yeah.
And there's all the crushed Jolly Ranchers, and you just throw them in it. Bam, like it's broken glass.
There's a girl in Russia who taped thumbtacks to a steel chair.
I don't know if you we have to when we're off, we'll find her Instagram page. You could see her. She's insane. She's insane. That girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. We try to get her. We try to get everybody, but she's busy. That's a busy woman right there.
Yeah.
She does lots of different shows in Russia and
hardcore. A lot of hardcore matches.
A lot. And she's little. She's a little skinny thing, and she just like
shit from Russia is crazy. Like like Alex Nebiev.
I don't think
you heard of him.
No.
Oh, look him up. He's a psychopath.
Oh, okay.
He's awesome.
Yeah, the name is Piper Sweet, by the way.
Okay.
Piper Sweet, yeah. She has like a mushroom cut. When you find her picture is like a cartoon picture of her face with like a thing like, oh, what's his name? It's a singer. He has like a lightning bolt.
I can't imagine what a steel chair feels like. Can you imagine a steel chair with thumbtacks attached to it?
Probably pretty bad. I haven't taken that specific weapon combination, right? Like I've taken like gusset plates to the face, skewers and shit like that, but like you put the weight of a steel chair behind tacks, like that's heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's scary, right?
All I could think is my friend dared me to hit him with the steel chair in the head, and I got scared, and he called me oh, you're just a midget. And then I was like, little people power, wham! I just hit him full power, and I hit him right in the head, wham! And he's like, I didn't feel that. I'm just like, and I got mad because he said I didn't feel that, so that got me even madder. I hit him in the head again, and then he's like, ow! I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of weapons that were like fucking savagely constructed weapons, I think one of my favorite ones I've seen creatively recently is actually a guy I worked with by the name of That Kyle. He does a cowbell with gusset plates on it.
Oh.
And it's an absolute instrument of destruction.
Oof.
I love weapons that like are one-handed, like where you could really just, they're nice and quick and easy.
Have you ever done a dog collar match yet?
No, I haven't done a dog collar match yet. That's one of those matches I'd really like. I'll do a strap match any day of the week, but like the neck is a very important thing. I don't feel like I would do that match with just anybody.
Yeah, you would have to trust the person, right?
Yeah, because like that's your neck, right?
Yeah. They grab the chain wrong, they could break your neck.
You know what? I'd be in support of a humane dog collar match. You wear a harness.
Oh God!
You know, like in the dog harnesses, you wear a construction harness and you're just clipped together.
Yeah, or you get make it look like the demolition one. They get black, like a leather one with the little.
Oh, that's another question I was going to ask. Is there any match you refuse not to take?
Not really. There hasn't been one presented to me that I've refused to take. It's just all a matter of how it can be done, right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not actually supposed to die.
Yeah,
there's supposed to be a safe route out of this. So as long as there's a visible, safe route, then good to go.
Yeah. When I tell people, oh, we have a deathmatch wrestler coming on the podcast, and where I work in a grocery store, immediately it's like always a mom or a dad that I told them they always have that same face. Oh,
what match?
What kind of wrestling? I'm like, death match. You're like, is that legal? And I'm like, yeah, it's.
They don't understand. They don't understand that.
They don't understand these days. They think death match means like
you're done.
And then you can see the tarp going over him. He's a wrestler.
Hey, like
they don't understand. It's like
I understand why they don't
hardcore
understand. Like my own family doesn't understand half the time.
Yeah.
I'll
It's
like,
a
yo,
really
check this
hardcore
out.
match.
They're like, oh, how's your wrestling going? I'm like, oh, good. Check this clip out. And you know, I got a fucking most recently had a fucking paint roller with gusset plates on it, and the guy fucking rolls it on my head and taps me in the head, and I start bleeding everywhere. And they're like, why do you do this? I'm like, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
That is how I have fun.
It's so many people that look forward to going to a hardcore show. But all this stuff going on in the world, what you guys do gets that you not to think about everything that's going on.
Yeah.
That's why I say it. Like, well, I'm glad
yeah, it's a different world. It's an escape. And like the fact that you can share that with other people and provide that with other people, it's awesome. It's one of the most fun parts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never want to have the most technical match or the coolest match or like the most online revered match. I mostly care about the match that I have for the people in attendance. Yeah. I rarely give a shit about what it's going to look like on DVD or what its replay value is going to be. I want to create moments for those people that are there in that moment. And there's some people that do dig that and that's what they watch for, but that's what that's what I strive for.
Can you ever, I know this is kind of sound controversial. Can you ever see Johnny Knoxville in a death match?
Absolutely.
Because that guy is doing crazy stuff to his body already. So it's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like I said, I mean, his job is all risk assessment too. Like when he's doing all those stunts, it's okay. Do I have a chance of survival? What's my chance of survival on this? Pretty good. It's going to hurt, but I'm going to live. So fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
There's like rumors that he may win the Royal Rumble tomorrow. I'm like, please don't let
No. Oh, fuck no. That'd be the worst.
That was rumors going around Instagram yesterday. I was like, this is a lie. Please don't.
I've always said Nick Gage wrestled David Arquette, right? So why not have Johnny Knoxville versus Nick Gage?
Yeah.
It could happen.
But maybe Nick Gage after that is like, no, I'm done with these guys that don't actually wrestle death matches because last time a motherfucker freaked out and I cut his neck.
Yeah. Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, that's what happened in the David Arquette match.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when he was doing the light bulb, he freaked out and David Arquette went to like turn around real fast, so he turned into the light tube and it got him in the neck.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, he was pretty fucking sour about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he like Arquette even said, look at watching it back, like he knows like he freaked out. He might have bit off more than he could chew. That's his first actual like death match, and you're against Nick Gage.
That's insane.
Like you fucking yeah, that's fucking nuts.
It's like, oh god, the king of the death match. You want
like I'd get in there and fight Nick Gage, but now I wouldn't have done that early in my career, let alone it be my first death match.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like you take on somebody that's not so like a great white shark. That's like the king of it. You don't want to take on the king first.
But he's also David Arquette, right?
Yeah.
Like he's and like if you're gonna redeem yourself, no better way than Nick Gage.
Yeah, he wanted to redeem himself from like that cheap stunt that happened years ago. But
I feel like he's done like if you've watched his documentary about it, like he's redeemed himself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if anybody hasn't forgiven David Arquette, like they just haven't watched enough.
That Scream monster's still after him, man.
he's retroactively earned his title.
Exactly.
I don't mind saying David Arquette was a WCW champion now that Nick Gage stabbed him in the neck.
There's so many people that you say that and they go, "Oh, come on, no, stop that! You brought up the bad flashback." And they get so mad.
But he did redeem himself, and the thing is, with David Arquette, he did what he was told. No one could be mad at him.
And he came back and redeemed himself at a point where most people had forgotten about it and not necessarily already forgave him, but just were willing to forget and try and blank that out. But it still bugged him, so he came back and did it. So I was like, oh yeah, I remember how pissed I was about that. Okay, let's see what you can do now.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the stuff like he was doing with RJ City and all that. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Completely.
So, like I said, Johnny Knoxville, if he wants to redeem himself, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Cage.
Hey, he'd only be redeeming himself for Steve-O's actions. Steve-O's the one that was a jackass, so to speak, on WWE.
Yeah.
When Umaga had to whoop that ass.
I wouldn't be surprised if they all pop in random spots during the Rumble tomorrow.
No.
I feel like Steve-O's not invited.
Oh, you think so? Well, he did with the thing he did with Umaga. Yeah.
Because I haven't seen him throughout all this. Have you guys?
Mm,
and the stuff they've done on screen, and they had like Riddle doing shit with all the jackass guys. I feel like he's staying home.
What did he do to Umaga? Did he no sell the spike or something?
No, he's just smiling after his beating because he's a fucking clown.
Yeah,
he couldn't help it. I mean, a clown's gonna be a clown. Like I don't. So then he fucked him up legit. Like it's whatever. It is what it is. I mean, Goldberg choked his own son. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Someone's not selling, you gotta give the people what they paid to see. Reality.
That's Umaga. You don't fuck with Umaga. Umaga's a bull, a real bull. That's a one bull. He'll fucking roll your ass over. It's a bulldozer.
Yeah, literally.
It's a bulldozer. It's like laughing in the faces of a bull with a red t-shirt on. Ha ha. Dead. Like, oh.
What would you say the craziest hardcore spot you've taken?
Ooh, craziest hardcore spot I've taken. I'd probably have to say it'd be a barbed wire door that we would find out on the fly was the very hard solid type.
Oh, one of those, Joe. Another story like that.
Yeah, we just went to war with it. And it hurt a lot. And that'd be probably one of the dumber spots I've done. Craziest spot as far as or thing that blew my mind because I didn't even know it was coming. It was done shoot in the middle of a match. Was my opponent took a guy in a wheelchair and full tilt as fast as his fat ass could run, pushed the wheelchair into me, and like basically I sold it like one would sell a ring post or something.
Shit.
But I had no idea it was coming. And then he later on in the match pulled a knife out.
What? Pull the knife out?
Yeah, like just as part of the match. The guy wrestled actually. Me and him traveled from Canada to Michigan together to wrestle this show in Detroit, and we went to Gibraltar Trade Center, and he bought a knife while we were at the Trade Center to bring back home with him that he thought was cool. So on the fly in the match, he was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to use this knife."
Crazy. That's kind of reminds me of the story that one of the wrestlers had was on a podcast. He actually went through a real table.
Yeah,
like you were telling us just about like the table, like the door was real.
Yeah, it hasn't been gimmicked. Yeah,
exactly.
Those real I am the table moments.
Yeah, exactly.
He told us it was so heavy.
He told us. Yeah, he told us a story. Yeah, it's like, and he realizes, oh shit, this is not a gimmick table. This is an actual real table.
Actually, I have to give a shout for cool looking hardcore spots. I also have to give a shout out to a recent match that actually hasn't been released yet, but it was from the pandemic. We did a match with light tubes, but they were plugged in and functional. So the light's on while we're doing the match, like just long extension cords and plugged in.
That had to hurt.
Must have been hot.
the extra weight, because it's in a little ballast, right? So the extra weight behind it, it's not like when a light tube breaks and then it's gone. You're also getting that blunt force.
Mm.
Oh, shit.
Oof.
But yeah, he put someone through like a real table, which is crazy too.
Wasn't a side effect too? He did the
It
side
was
effect.
the match was a side effect. The finishing move was a side effect through the table. And he told his opponent, I'm sorry, but it's not a gimmick table. This is going to hurt really, really bad.
I've had tables that I found out the hard way weren't gimmicked at the last minute, and that sucked because I had somebody like where basically I was going to suplex them off the apron through the table on the outside. They slide underneath me and power bomb me off the apron. It just breaks ever so slightly. So I'm like cradled in this table.
Oh,
and they look at me and go, what the fuck do I do? I'm like, go do a cannonball.
Oh God.
Literally had like it was wrestler Jen Blake. So she goes up, does a big ass cannonball right on top of me, and boom, that does her.
Oh.
She was small, but she got momentum.
It definitely spread our name through all your hardcore friends. We definitely would love to have them come on so they could tell some of their stories.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I promoted on my Facebook and all that, and Twitter and Instagram, and usually people chat it up, ask me how it was, all that stuff, and I mean, obviously, I'll tell them, fucking come chill. It's a good time.
We talk about everything, food. So like, we didn't get to the food topic. This is like one of my favorite questions. What kind of food do you like? What is your favorite food?
I'm a pizza guy.
Oh, definitely.
So I'm from Windsor, Ontario. Windsor, Ontario is actually strangely great find for pizza. It's got a very defined style, so much so that there's places in like Alberta, so other side of the country, that call themselves Windsor Pizza because they do the same style. And that Windsor style pizza is like a cornmeal finish on the bottom, like on your crust, and the shredded pepperoni, canned mushrooms. Got to be fucking canned mushrooms to be that like Windsor style. But yeah, good shit, really good shit. A lot of people when they leave Windsor, they're like, I miss the pizza.
I also noticed the Batman poster on your wall. You see the new trailer today or no?
I haven't seen the new trailer today. No, I have not.
There's the penguins in the new trailer.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's honestly the Batman movie I've been least excited for ever, but I'm willing to be surprised.
Definitely.
Which is better than I usually go in with medium to high expectations and get disappointed. So if I just drop the bar on the ground, he might pick it up.
Exactly. So it might be actually worth it because you never know, those movies that are underrated usually end up being good.
It kind of like it's like, to me, it's like a setup Batman. This one is, because he's not the big old scary Batman with the huge Batmobile. His Batmobile is almost like a setup Batmobile.
Well, I see that's where like I already almost first started getting turned off is when he was like, I'm not working out or getting big for the role. And I was like, you motherfucker, you get to be Batman.
How would it got so
like if somebody was like, Tim, you can be Batman. All you got to do is look like Batman. I'd be at like needlestomorrow.com before I could even blink.
Yeah. I would have hired
I won't do that for wrestling, but I would do that. I wouldn't do needles for wrestling, but
yeah,
I'll do the juice to be Batman.
I would find the coolest, most strongest personal trainer I could find in the state of Pennsylvania and have them outside my house at 5 a.m. the next day just to get my body into shape. Like, I'd be like, I'm gonna be Batman. I'm gonna be Batman in 5 months. Can you come to my house? Snowing? Yeah. Better be here tomorrow or you're fired.
Yeah, just live with me. Yell at me in the morning to get the fuck out of bed. Yell at me to work out. Just push me.
slap the candy and the pizza out of my hand. Like,
and I'm surprised they let that shit slide because I feel like on the Marvel side of the movie world, like there's the Marvel diet. I swear there's the Marvel diet because they turn like Marvel Studios turns like everyday guys and gals into like legitimate looking superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you look at them when they're done with their movie and you're like, that was Black Widow? Holy crap. Like, what?
Yeah.
Every Marvel movie is freaking awesome. I don't think there's usually a bad Marvel movie. I mean, there are a couple, but there's
No, Marvel movies are like pizza, man. Even when they're shitty, they're still pretty good.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I think lately it's sad to say that the DC movies have been the Papa John's of the pizza world.
Yeah.
They look
Or
good
Domino's.
so far, but when you finally eat them, you're like, this is horrible.
Domino's is another one.
I don't mind Domino's. I used to hate it when I was younger. When they changed their sauce, I stopped hating on them, and they got a good deal around where I'm from. I don't know if they do the same deal in the States where it's like the 50% Monday, and then I collect the points. So like a lot of times, like I'd watch Raw and get like my free pizza, and I'm like, this is the shit.
I remember when I was still going to the baseball games a lot, the Yankees would score like 5 runs, you get your pizza like 10% or 20% off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I was like, when I was at the game and they scored 5 runs, they would play in the John's, go Joe, or whatever, Papa, John.
Whenever I go to games where they have those kind of deals, right, I always feel like it's a bad fucking omen. I'm like, thanks. Because now my team's not going to win and I'm not getting fucking ice cream. You guys suck.
Yeah. But it's funny. I'm always at the game when they score the 5 runs. And it's like.
See, I have the reverse of that luck.
Yeah. I get worried that they're not going to score 5 runs. It's going to be like 5. It's going to be like 3-1. Yankees are losing 3-1. I'm like, great. Or they don't get to they only score 4 runs. And I'm like, oh, we didn't get the pizza. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but I mean, for Canada, I mean, obviously the Raptors have had their success recently, but like we got like the Leafs and we've got Montreal, which has had like no success in the hockey thing, which is embarrassing because like Canadian teams have not been having much success.
And that's weird because Canadians are like
a lot of people deem as a Canadian sport.
You know what I mean? Like that stuff. It's crazy. That's insane.
So, where can people find you?
What's that?
Where can people find you?
Oh shit! I am easily findable on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at PD Skills Show. My show can be found on Spotify, Apple, pretty much anywhere you get podcasts, Google, Amazon, Podbean, all that good stuff. The PD Skills Show, always interviewing people I've come across through wrestling. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus for the last month or so, trying to do some reformatting of the show. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And if you hit up my Facebook page, PD Skills, at PD Skills Show, you can get my t-shirts, all designed by myself, of course. Great deals through the end of February.
And do you have any upcoming matches too, or?
Right now, being advertised, as there's been a lot of I'm in Ontario, and there's been a lot of restrictions put back down on us. I know I have shows coming sooner than this. They haven't been announced, so I can't announce them. However, tentatively, April 9th, London, Ontario. No Ring North, WrestlePania. I will be there. I do not know who my opponent is yet, but I will definitely be defending the Hybrid Championship come hell or high water. It's just a matter of who's coming to smoke up and throw down.
Oh, yeah.
You've been an awesome guest, by the way, telling
your
stories.
You've been awesome, dude. You had so many cool stuff you talked about.
I'm glad. Hey, I'm glad. Thank you guys for having me, and I'm glad to be a good guest.
Hopefully, you can come back in the future. We can talk more hardcore stuff.
We'll definitely have you come on later in the year. You'll probably
anytime. I'm always If I'm not wrestling, I'm at home, and if it's during the week, it's usually pretty easy to catch me.
All right.
Well, this is Joe Panther III and
Metal Geek and
Petey Skills.
we will catch you guys in the next one.